Hello. Find a comfortable seat, ideally on your two blankets or bolster. You don't have to sit this way, any way that you're comfortable. The height is so that you can lengthen up out of your low back versus rounding back, where it's more challenging to breathe, it takes more energy to hold yourself up. You could also be in a chair or lying down, if that's what you feel like would be better for you right now. Draw the flesh of your seat out. As you're ready, let the eyes close or softly gaze. Give yourself a moment to simply observe the rhythm, the quality of your breath, the feeling of your seat on your props, feeling of the palms, and any other sensation that you notice here in your body and your mind. There are no wrong or rights or good or bads here. We're getting in the practice of simply observing, of allowing, of accepting. So little by little, we can get to this space of really nurturing ourselves, hearing our needs. We'll begin in a moment with a breathing exercise. For this exercise, you'll inhale with your mouth closed, slight constriction of the throat, and you'll exhale through an O-shaped mouth. So make a little O shape with your mouth and exhale fully through that little O. You'll continue inhaling, mouth closed. Begin if you haven't. And exhaling through that little O of your mouth, all the way to the bottom of your exhale. And continue at a pace that feels very gentle and easy for you. You're not feeling stress with your breath. It's not bringing stress into your body. We'll go maybe 7, 8 more breaths. You can even count your breaths if that helps you. Allow your breathing to lengthen your spine, down through the floor, up through the top of your head. There's no rush. Allow yourself to slow down and really drink in each breath. Continue a few more rounds. Just simply observing anything that comes up. There's no perfect way to do this. Allow yourself to be in your process, whatever that is today. Take one more round. When your exhale is fully complete, breathe naturally. Notice how you feel. Bring your hands to your heart, palms meet, and give yourself a nice and nurturing breath here. Gently open your eyes, interlace your fingers, and press the palms forward. Slide your shoulders back, and as you inhale, reach up. Keep your gaze lightly down towards the floor. So maybe 5-6 feet out in front of you so the neck is still long. And then inhale, reach up and over to the side, or maybe right at the screen is good too. Then inhale, come on up, lift up over to the other side. Squeeze the elbows as straight as you can. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, arms down. Keep your left fingertips down, roll the right palm up, lift up. Over to the side. Let's switch. Roll the left palm up, lift up, and over. And then come back to the middle. Let's straighten the legs. Draw the kneecaps up, and let's do one more of those on each side. Lift up and over. And switch. Come on up, either sit up tall, seats on your props, or maybe you're leaning forward, gently reaching the chest forward for another full breath. Maybe flex your ankles here, go back and forth even, flexing, pointing, and then come on up. Make your way into a child's pose. So if your knees kind of bother you in child's pose, you could always take a blanket or two behind your shins, behind your calves. Take the knees wide, big toes touch, and then walk the hands forward. Spread the fingers wide. And bring your forehead, if it doesn't reach the floor, then take your forehead on a block if you have that. Spread the fingers wide, try to straighten your elbows, and we'll take about 5 or so slow, full breaths here. You may be inhale, breathing deeply into your low back and hips. Maybe exhaling through the mouth like an H.A. ha. Then move your breath down into the low back, up into the middle back. The rib cage expands. Nice complete exhales. And then let your inhale wave low back, middle back, upper back. Nice long exhale, another full breath. As your exhale completes, come on up to table. Spread the fingers wide. Let's take a few cat-cows. Inhale, reach your chest forward. Take the gaze forward. Exhale, cat pose, round the back. Do a few even with your eyes closed. If that doesn't feel good to you, then keep them open with a soft gaze. Internal focus for a few more rounds. The fingers are spreading wide. The finger pads are grabbing the floor. One more round. And now bring your left foot to the outside of your left hand. And either come up onto your tippy toes. You may enjoy a block here as well. Let's push that left foot down, lift through the heart. Roll your back toes under, and with your next exhale, move your seat back, curl the left toes back. We'll go back and forth here. Inhale, come forward, lift the heart, push the left foot down. Exhale, sit back. Go a few more times. The next time you're forward, hold it. Bring your right hand on its ridge top, so that means on the fingers, off the wrist, and then slowly lift your left arm up. Push your left foot down, roll your ribs and chest open, and hold it here. Notice your breath. And with your exhale, release, switch, left knee back, right foot out to the edge of your mat, ankle under the knee. Come high up onto the fingertips or use your block. Lift your heart. And let's try to avoid in this practice cranking your gaze up. So keep it like either neutral in front of you or maybe even down towards the floor. With your next exhale, walk the hands back, curl the right toes back, and move back and forth. So this movement may look many different ways. Let it work for you. Continue to be with your breath, the sensations that come up for you. Avoid evaluating them if you can. And then take your left hand out to the edge of your mat and reach the right arm up. Roll the ribs and chest open. Sometimes in myself, I notice it's kind of a habit to just take my gaze all the way up. And that's not a bad thing at all, but maybe today encourage it maybe neutral or down towards the floor and see what that feels like. And with your exhale, gently release. Spread the fingers wide and come into a downward facing dog pose. Pedal your feet out a few times. And then take your feet out about as wide as your hips. Look at your hands, spread the fingers wide, even grab the floor a little bit. And then push your chest back, look at your toes, spread your toes out wide. And now push the floor away, reach your thigh bones towards the wall behind you. If you're pretty flexible in your hips and your back, then engage your glutes a little bit. Maybe draw up in the pelvic floor a little bit. Let's take a few more slow, conscious breaths here, holding steady. It's an active pose, so notice the sensations that arise that relate to that, the heat, the muscles working. With your inhale, come up to your tippy toes. Begin to walk up towards your hands. Keep your feet parallel here, toes spreading, and then bend the knees so that your low back isn't rounding up a lot here. Bend the knees, and you can use your block here if you'd like, or you may have your fingertips down, or you may be grabbing your opposite elbows. Take your head out slowly side to side, and then slow nodding. Nice full breaths. Keep your big toe ball mounds heavy. The backs of the thighs lifting, and that hollowed lift through the low belly. Let your elbows, head, arms hang for one more breath. And release your arms, bring your hands to your knees, and then look forward, taking a seat with the knees bent. Spread your toes, feel the ground beneath your feet. And as you're ready, stand up. Squeeze the muscles of your legs. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Hook your thumbs. Inhale, reach the arms as straight as you can. Push the feet down. And lift up and over to the right. Inhale, reach up, lift the heart, reach over to the left. Inhale, reach up, lift the heart, keep the heels heavy. And exhale, bend the knees, fold. Inhale, come up halfway, reach the heart forward. Big toes heavy. Exhale, fold, high push-up plank. Spread the fingers wide, glide to your tippy tip toes, and lower your heart down first. Inhale, baby cobra. Shoulders squeeze back. Your legs are shooting down the mat like they go on for a mile. Take another breath. Exhale, child's pose, one breath. With your inhale, look forward, downward facing dog pose. Feel the palms, feel the feet. Stretch your spine long. Notice your breath and anything else. With your inhale, come high tippy toes. Walk or jump forward if you feel ready for that and you like that. Fold, curl your chin into your chest. Inhale, look up, stand up, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold, bend the knees. Inhale, halfway up. Lengthened spine. Exhale, fold, high push up. Glide forward, lower down, baby cobra. To Shalabhasana. Whip the arms back. Lift the legs. You can interlace the fingers if that feels like a nice option for you. And come back to dog pose. Notice your breath. Allow yourself to be here, simply present in the sensations in your breath.
tippy toes, you may be hopping or walking forward. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, high push up. You get there how you like. Make sure it's not autopilot. Lower down and take cobra or up dog. Whatever feels good for you today. What honors your body this moment. Come back to dog pose. Nice, slow, complete breaths. Fingers spread wide, toes spread wide. Push your thighs towards the wall behind you. Inhale up to tippy toes, walk or jump forward folds. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. We'll take one more of these. There are so many ways to do sun salutations. I'll be quiet, moving the way that feels good for me. You do the same for you. Ready, go. Take your time. It's okay to slow down. Whenever you've completed your round, stand at the top of your mat. Allow your eyes to close. Notice how you feel. The quality of your breath, the beating of your heart, the skin. The feeling of your feet on the floor. As you're ready, open your eyes. Let's bend the knees, slide the hands down, and step your left foot way back, and then turn the back heel down. So we're setting up for triangle. The left foot is slightly pigeon-toed. The front foot is aiming out towards the top of your mat. The front heel is lined up to the back arch. And then let's inhale, reach the arms out, pause. Press the feet down. Inhale, reach out towards that right foot. Slide your hand down the leg and roll your chest and ribs open. And if your gaze just went straight up to the ceiling like mine did, then encourage it to maybe go straight in front of you, or maybe even down towards the floor. And with your inhale, come on up. Bend the right knee. Bring the forearm to thigh. Inhale, sweep the left arm forward and up by the ear. Really push that left foot through the floor, and let's do a few more arm circles, sweeping the left arm back and forward, back and forward. The back foot is anchored. And this next time your arm is up, keep it there. It can be bent or straight. Roll the heart open a little bit. And as we exhale, we're gonna windmill down. You can also use your blocks here. Pigeon toe the right foot in, and then walk out onto your fingertips, or you may have your block sliding out or block under each hand. Bend your knees if your low back is rounding, and keep your hips in line with your heels. Keep your hands a little wider than the shoulders, and one more breath here as your outer feet press into the floor. Then we'll move into triangle on the second side. So walk your hands towards your left foot. Spin the left foot to face the back of your mat and come into triangle pose. Left hand to leg or block, right arm up to the sky. Press the feet against the floor. Just notice where your gaze is. And with a big inhale, come on up. Bend your left knee. Bring the forearm to thigh and sweep the right arm down and up by the ear. Push your right foot down. And then do a few more arm circles. Reach the right arm back and swim it forward. Back. Go at your pace. The next time your arm is up towards the ear, hold it there, bent or straight. Push the right foot down and roll open a little bit. Notice where your gaze is. And then exhale, windmill back down, pigeon toe your left foot, and we'll walk the hands back out again. Nice, slow, full breaths, keeping the rib cage also slightly lifted. And we'll walk the hands over towards the right foot. Spin your feet and step back to downward facing dog pose. Spread the fingers wide. Push the floor away. And inhale, take your right leg straight back and up. And as you exhale, place as softly as you can your right foot in between the hands. You may need to grab your ankle to get your ankle all the way up under your knee. So nice long lunge. We're going to come up here. So your back knee can be up or down. As you're ready, climb up to the front knee. Bring the hands to your hips. Roll the shoulders back. You can bend that back knee if you need to. I definitely need to. We all have way different bodies. Let's keep the hands to hips, shoulders rolling back, and let yourself slowly kind of bounce up and down in the front knee. Notice your breath. Any sensations, and just decide to stay present. Let yourself track your sensations and then stay down. Roll the shoulders back, take a full breath. And then bring your left hand out to the edge of your mat. You may need a block there. And then slowly reach the right arm up. If your back knee is lifted, squeeze that kneecap up. And then exhale, gently release to downward facing dog pose. Give yourself a nice, slow, conscious breath. And then bring your left leg back up. As you exhale as lightly as you can, step forward. And that step may involve a lot of many steps, so really whatever it takes to get there. And then keeping your back knee up or down as you're ready, climb on up. Bring the hands to hips, gently roll the shoulders back. Keep pressing that left foot on your gas pedal. And then let's take some little movements, bouncing movements up and down that left knee. And then hold it down. And gently roll the shoulders back. Commit to one more full breath. And then gently bring the right hand out to the edge of your mat. And lift the left arm up to the sky. Notice where your gaze goes. Squeeze that back kneecap up if your leg is lifted. And with your exhale, release into downward facing dog pose for one full breath. And then slowly come down to your knees. And now we'll begin to slow down quite a bit. So we'll take a supported child's pose. So take your knees wide. Feel free to put some more props under the seat like I showed you in the beginning. Now this one's really nice with the big bolster, maybe like several pillows, or if you don't have these things, just hold your child's pose, maybe with your forehead resting on a block or your fist, and you may not hold it quite as long without your props. So if you have your bolster, scooch it up in between the thighs. Walk the forearms out and then turn your head one way. Let the eyes close or softly gaze. And as much as you're able to, just slowly begin to let yourself kind of fall against the bolster. Observe the relaxing of the breath. And then gently turn your head the other way if you're on a bolster or if it's a situation where that is useful. And of course, for any of these postures, if you're really enjoying this one, then just stay in it. And you can pause the video or rewind it when you come out. Otherwise, if you're ready, then gently turn your head to neutral. Slowly bring yourself up. And now we'll move your bolster. So let's come to your seat, let your legs straighten, draw the kneecaps up, flex and point the ankles a few times. And give your legs a little shake. And we'll move into a Supta Baddha Konasana. So if you have a bolster, lay it lengthwise up your mat. If you don't have a bolster, you can do this with your back flat on the floor or even a little bit of height, like if you're laying over a blanket, like folded like this, a blanket or two. So it could be like a really small kind of a bolster. A lot of ways to do this. And if you have another blanket, then take that over the top of your bolster where your head is going to go, or your blanket situation. And then take your 2 blocks. If you don't have blocks, you could be using couch pillows, a lot of things here. So you may need to pause the video and kind of go collect things. Okay, you definitely don't need all these things, but if you have another blanket, unroll it, roll it up so it has a long roll here, and then sit like a few inches in front of your bolster. Bring the soles of your feet together and take the blanket roll over the feet, and then let your knees open and kind of scrunch that just right underneath the outer seats. And then arrange these blocks or pillows or whatever you have so that this feels really good. You're not really feeling a stretch in the inner thighs. It's more subtle than that. And then lie back. If you have some low back stuff or SI joint stuff going on, you may want even more length, space between your seat and the bolster. And you may even be able to kind of scrunch up a little neck roll under your neck. Also very subtle. Okay, so be like pretty picky with it for like 20 seconds or so, and then kind of accept where it is. And unless something's just not feeling right, it's not feeling healthy for you. When you're ready, relax the arms. And when you're ready, close the eyes. And we'll be here for some time. So let yourself kind of naturally drop through those waves of letting go, of relaxing. I have a timer, that's what I was looking at. And of course, during this time, honor the messages that you get from your body. If you need to change something, this should be feeling like pretty nice. If something's hurting or your mind just keeps going to some place in your body, then try to support yourself so that your mind can really instead focus on relaxing and just naturally drifting. There's no right or wrong here either. Sometimes getting in these kinds of postures and holding, sometimes it can be incredibly relaxing and relieving. Sometimes it's, almost the whole time is spent like maybe being a little uncomfortable with the stillness or the quiet or staying in the posture. All of that is completely normal and it changes day to day. Continue to be here a little bit longer. Letting yourself drop against your props. This type of practice that lets us really slowly drop into parasympathetic relaxation system of your body. When we're in this relaxation state, it allows our hormonal system to also slowly rebalance if anything unbalanced there. Simply by relaxing. You know, it doesn't always feel simple. It takes some time. I notice the breath rhythm kind of slowly changing also over time. Or more you're used to a kind of elevated chest breathing, we may notice that you can feel a little bit more in the belly. Different for everyone, so just some degree of that. Quality of feeling more grounded, more connected to the breath. We'll be here another 30 seconds or so. And same as the other posture, if this is feeling fantastic, then let yourself stay here longer. Otherwise, as you are ready, then slowly begin to maybe open and close the fists, the fingers, anything that feels good. Maybe reaching the arms overhead. Eventually slide your legs down the mat. Maybe flexing and pointing the ankles a few times, or some ankle circles, some wrist circles. Then bring your knees on your feet on the floor. So your knees are bent, kind of shift yourself over to one side. You can very gently lift yourself up to a seat. Clear your props away a little bit. And let's bring the feet about as wide as your mat. Walk the hands back behind you. And let's do a little bit of some windshield wipering. This can also feel really nice if doing this just lying down on your back too, or a little less active. We'll go back and forth here. Back and forth. You may go faster, you may go slower. And you may kind of add just anything that feels natural to you. It may
Be like as your knees go to one side, you may start to reach one arm overhead, and then other side, stretching, kind of flowing side to side. It may be something much different than what I'm doing. A few more times. And when you're done, come back to the middle. Slide the legs out long, draw the kneecaps up. Either stay here, you may be pulling the flesh out, maybe folding forward for a breath or two. And inhale, gently bring yourself up. We're going to do an elevated legs up the wall. So either take your bolster, or maybe it could be your two blankets. If they're folded like this, then fold them in half, and you could stack one on top of the other. So it's again like a bolster at the wall, okay? That's also a nice option if your bolster is just too big when you get into this and it's not comfortable for you. If you're menstruating, do this without the height, just legs up the wall. Getting into this is definitely the most challenging part. So sit sideways, kind of tucked up into a little ball. And then we'll walk one hand back. And then the other hand, you'll come onto your forearms and then swing your legs up. And then we're lying back. And if you try that and it's just like not happening today, then just forget about the height. This will be great without height too. If you can, with your feet on the wall, you can push your feet into the wall, lift your seat up and kind of position that bolster or blankets how you like them. Okay, so it should feel like a nice support under the low back. And the legs are relaxed up the wall. Relax the arms either down by the sides, maybe out, straight out to the sides, maybe like even kind of over the arms, over the head, I mean, with the elbows bent. So you may notice from your pubic bone, like this kind of hollowed lift of your belly up through the sternum, that nice lift of the organs, lift through the abdominals, something going against gravity, opening through the chest, maybe a slight constriction of the throat, okay, inverting can, bring energy to all of those areas where you feel it. Okay, where do you feel it? That maybe increased circulation now and when you get out of the posture. And here, let the eyes close if you can, or softly gaze. You could also use an eye bag, I forgot to mention. And we'll continue holding here for a while, unless it, of course, is clear to you that you need to change the position. Trust the messages that you get.
And as you are ready, begin to bring a little bit of movement, pointing, flexing the ankles, opening and closing the fists. Whatever feels good to you, maybe reaching the arms overhead. As you're ready, bend the knees, slide the feet down the wall. Slowly turn to your side. Turn your forehead towards the floor and slowly pick yourself up to a seat. So I recommend, using whatever you have at the wall. If your bolster's too high, then sit on your blankets. However you're comfortable here, and even use the wall if you'd like as a support prop here. Any way you're comfortable. It may again be on your chair or on your back. And here we'll do a few minutes of a breathing exercise. So this one is a little bit of the reverse of the one that we began class with. So for this one, roll your tongue if you can. If you're unable to roll the tongue, then make the O with your mouth. This time we'll be inhaling through the rolled tongue or the O. And exhaling, mouth closed. Soft, soft Ujjayi breath. And continue at your pace. Inhaling, nice cool air through that, your rolled tongue is like making an air conditioner for your breath. Exhaling with the mouth closed. Continue at a really sweet pace. No force here. Notice if you're feeling stress from any sort of forcing of this breath. So try to let it be a little easier. It may just be breathing naturally as well. Continue another minute or two. This cooling pranayama, Shatali pranayama, cooling for the system, cooling for the mind. We can intend here, less hot-tempered reactions, more cool, collected response. Last a round or two. As your exhale completes, breathe naturally. Notice how you feel. As you're ready, let the eyes slowly open. And then we'll end in one final
Shavasana. So for this one, I recommend taking your bolster or pillows under your thighs and knees, just wherever it feels comfortable. Okay. And relax your arms. And let the eyes close or softly gaze. We'll just be here a few minutes. Maybe 5 minutes. Continue to let yourself drop against the floor, the weight of your head, all the way down the spine. Just plop your body on the floor. Is there any sense of holding or lifting? Just drop. The bolster, hold your legs. Belly relax. The breath is free, flowing. The mind free to roam. There's no way you are supposed to be here. And bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. Honor your efforts, your motivation to move through this self-care practice. Sometimes I get a little nervous about saying this, like I'm afraid people will think I'm naive for saying what I'm about to say, but in my more clear moments, I see that your self-care is truly one of the greatest gifts that we can give to each other in the world, all beings. Allowing ourselves to be here for ourselves, accept, nurture, allows us to really be more present for each other, allows each other the space to really be ourselves. It allows us the space to also really do our clear, good work. It begins with you. In your way, take the next little bit of time, your way, begin to close out your practice. It may involve setting intentions, gratitude, whatever, so many ways. Maybe simply breathing, pausing, feeling. May we honor ourselves and each other, all beings. May, of course, stay here longer. And you resting until it feels complete. Thank you so much for your time, dedication. Thank you.